Hi, how is everybody doing? This Facebook Live will last about 20 minutes and we are going to talk about how to make stress our ally. And as a special guest, we have today Sabine Janssens from Belgium. My name is Ana Stephanie Munoz. I am a Guatemalan entrepreneur, transformational and stress management coach, and we help our customers to discover, unleash, and exceed their potential. So if the sound is okay, please give me likes, thumbs up, or comment below, please. I have taken into account all the recommendations from the audience in previous Facebook Live to improve the sound. So let me know if today you can hear us better, if there's no echo, if my voice and Sabine's voice it's okay. So okay, perfect, great. Let me. Okay. I'm including Sabine on the call so you can see her as well. So she's connecting at the moment. So oh, hi Sabine, how are you?
Hi Anna, I'm great.
Perfect. I can hear you really good. Can you hear me very good?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay,
Yes.
excellent. So please, to the audience, if you can hear us, okay, give us a like there. And I'm going to introduce Sabine to you. Sabine is a solution-focused psychologist and works in her private practice in Belgium with her mother, who is a physician. They work mostly with stress, burnout, anxiety, and depression. For them, diagnosis doesn't matter that much. They look at strengths and talents from the people, from the patients, and implement them towards a preferred future. They work active or passive relaxation techniques or creative tools, and it varies from patient to patient. She also loves gardening and ecology. So, welcome, Sabine. And could you share something else about yourself with our audience today, please?
Hi. So I was very lucky today to get a good example that we will be able to use later. I just arrived from being almost 2 hours in the car in traffic,
Oh my
stuck in
God.
traffic, and be like, oh my God, I have to be on time.
Mm.
So I planned for 1 hour of break before we went live, and reality showed me that it wouldn't be so.
Oh
So
my
we'll
God.
see how we can utilize this example today.
Very good. I think it's an amazing example. Thank you, Sabine, for sharing that. So, we're since this Facebook Live lasts around 20 minutes, we're going directly to the questions. So please let me know if you have any questions to Sabine. Please write them down on the comments below so she can answer. Take the opportunity now that we have her today because she's an expert. She's been working for years now, and you know that combination of her as a psychologist and her mom a physician is amazing because they treat the patients in a more holistic way. So take advantage of this in this Facebook Live, please. So the first question for you, Sabine, is what are the negative factors people face with stress? What can you tell us about that?
So that's a really lovely one because I had a lot of nice examples when we were in Antwerp because we had a meeting about burnout,
Mhm.
and we left for Brussels, and there were lots of people like how do you call it when you make this noise with your car?
Mm,
Toot
yeah,
toot. You
humping.
know, they
Yeah,
were making humping. It sounds
yeah,
weird, but they were humping, they were shouting, they were trying to pass in front of you, they were very impatient. So this
oh
is
my
one of the
God.
things that you notice a lot with people.
Hmm.
They get highly emotional. They are not able to make rational decisions. They will act without thinking truthfully. They will just be very emotional about it. So that is if you have a lot of stress and
Mm-hmm.
you don't know how to manage this, then generally you will have that, or you will have it at your work. You will have like this colleague that's blaming all the other people and can't finish himself on time, and
Exactly.
it's like, even, you know, this face, like
Mm-hmm.
slightly angry and slightly maybe afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And they start to feel tense. They will have headaches, and then they will complain to their spouses in the evening. And the spouses, they of course they will not be very happy to talk about you, and they will try to avoid you.
Of
This
course.
results in all these other things happening.
Mm-hmm.
So mostly stress is like it's a sort of bad habit of not thinking about what am I feeling now and what's going on.
Exactly.
It's, you get all these pressures from outside, and they just enter and they feel like attacks. They feel it's the same system we have as we had when we were in the savannah. We were monkeys and we got chased by a lion.
Yeah.
We are like, oh my god, all these things are going on and we have to run, we have to fight, and you don't think, you just
Exactly.
tense up and you react.
Exactly. Exactly. No, and it becomes a vicious cycle because you're going,
Yes.
you know, like the hamster all over again all the time, like stressing out, then again you stress out for something else, like you were saying, you know, in traffic, then you shout at people outside, then you fight with your wife or husband, then you know, it's a vicious cycle. But yeah, it's really bad. And I want to ask the audience, do you believe there are other negative factors that people face when having stress? If you want to comment, or if you have a question on this for Sabine, please write it down. So meanwhile, we'll go to the next question. That is, now, what are the positive stress factors people face?
So this is why I was starting to talk about the bad thoughts. You had a bad pattern of thinking, because we think that stress is something that happens to us. It just happens. There is something bad going on and we get stressed. While in fact, the same situation can for one person be negative stress and for the other be very pleasant. And then you only need to think about exams. We all know, of course, people that hate exams and they get so tense and they are pacing and maybe they feel sick, they feel like they have to throw up, all these things. It can get very bad. And then there are those that are like, oh yeah, I studied so well, I know all these questions. Oh, will they ask about this? Will they? Oh, I do hope we talk about this part because I read this book. So for some people it's a challenge, and for other people it's a burden. And the only difference is one person is thinking, I'm well prepared and I will finally be able to show what I know, and the other person will be, I don't think I will be enough. I don't think I'm prepared enough. And maybe they both know as much, or maybe the one that's so confident actually knows less than the one that's stressed. So it's not about competence, it's just about the attitude you have towards something. And then also to talk about, I go back to my example in the car because it's fresh in my mind. And I could say, oh God, I'm stuck in traffic. It will be horrible. I will be too late. I will be not relaxed. I will forget what I wanted to say. I did not get to prepare what I wanted to say. And I thought, oh wait, I'm in the car. I've got all the time I want, so I can finally discuss with my mother what will I say later on. And she gave me some good examples that I can use now. So I sort of used it in my advantage. Besides that, sometimes when you're in the car and you've got this long road and just goes on and there's almost no traffic and it's a bit late, and you know, you're just watching and waiting till you get the road you need to take, and you don't really have to think a lot because it's so easy to drive, and maybe it gets a little bit boring, and then you start to sort of be, what did I eat, and what will I do later, and you're not focusing on the traffic, you're actually distracted. Well, if you're a little bit tense and you're a little bit, things are going on and I have to pay attention, then you're a better driver than when you're distracted and bored. And this you can also see at your work. If you that's what we call a burnout. Everyone is
Hmm.
talking about burnout,
Yeah.
but there is this opposite one, and almost no one ever notices it. And
Oh,
sometimes they come
really?
to me and they ask me, Sabine, do you think I have a burnout? And I ask them, how is it? And like, there's these things, and I know them. I've been here for years, and it should be easy because it's every time the same thing. But I don't seem to be able to finish it. I don't
Mm.
know, and then I go home and everything's fine. But oh God, to get to work and I mean doing the same thing over and over again. No, this is not a burnout. This is a bore out. You don't have any challenges. You
Exactly.
don't have anything to show. You don't have
Hmm.
a way to show your talents. So
Hmm.
I think this is the difference. You have to have a level of arousal, and
Hmm.
we use arousal for a lot of things. That's right for the situation, and maybe it can be a tad higher.
Hmm.
And you can even feel, oh my God, I feel my heart beating, and I'm doing so many things. And then afterwards you go home and you relax and you put this work aside and it's fine.
Hmm.
So after this I will eat with my husband, watch a movie, and I will relax.
Exactly, exactly. No, but it's very important what you say. Actually, we need to have something to look for because otherwise
Mhm.
we believe we're getting stuck in a place and we believe it's burnout or stressing out. Maybe not a level of burnout, but like anxiety and stuff. And it's because we're not happy because we're not fulfilling like something that give us that energy, that willingness to be better, to do something else, do something more challenging. So yeah, I think it's very important. And as you say, it's the attitude that we put on every situation because at the end there's a positive stress always, and it needs to be focusing, and we need to focus it in a positive way, right?
Yeah. I remember now what we talked about today in the burnout session, and they talked about two factors that lead to burnout.
Hmm.
And one is you have too many burdens. You do have too many things that take away energy.
Hmm.
But the other one is you don't have enough situations that give you energy. And sometimes we forget this. We say like, no, it's okay, I can handle my job. It's a bit difficult, but I can handle it.
Hmm.
But you don't have any pastimes. You don't have
Exactly.
meaningful conversations, or you don't feel that you really are using your talents. And this is the other part. You can do a lot of difficult things, stressful things,
Hmm.
as long as you balance it with something that gives you meaning, something that gives you energy.
Hmm. Exactly. Yeah, no, you're completely right. And I want to ask our audience to share with us mm, a situation or something positive that you have encountered in your life with stress, that you didn't feel that much stress in the situation, and maybe it wasn't because the situation wasn't stressing. It was because the attitude and how you saw the situation and the opportunity of doing something different or something better. If you can share with us, it would be amazing. Or if you have any questions regarding this to Sabine, that also is great. So please let us know. And in case, the audio is not good, also please comment below so we see, we continue improving in that sense. So thank you. So let's go to the third and final question, Sabine. And it's, how can we make stress our ally?
Ah, so for this last question, I've got a model I like to share, but I don't know. I should have drawn it. I will just draw it
Okay.
in a second. It's super simple. It's just like a Gauss curve. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, drawing while I'm. So it's very simple. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if you can see it.
Yeah, it's like a
It's like this
mountain.
Gauss curve, and it,
Mm-hmm.
it comes up and down.
Mm-hmm.
And this is important. Why? Because it says with the Gauss curve, in the beginning, you've got low stress, and that leads you've got low not a lot of challenges,
Mm-hmm.
and that leads to boredom. And then at that point what you need is to increase the stress, increase the challenges, increase the energy giving activities,
Mm-hmm.
and then you will feel better, and then you will be happy, and you will
Mm-hmm.
be challenged. And then if you get at this more during near the top, you will be very energized. That's the moment when you've got this exam and you really worked well towards it, or you've got this presentation at your work and you really feel that you will be able to share a good idea. And then you get at your peak performance. You're more focused, you're more energized than ever, and it feels like it goes, you don't need breaks, you can just go on. But then the challenge is if you get over that level and you go back down, you go down this curve, then you start to have to do more effort to get the same things done, and you start to get these little problems because you got stressed too long, too hard, and then you start to feel tense, your neck aches, and and you feel like it's a bit too much, and but at this point you can easily say, okay, I've been going a bit too far, I need to take back some gas and I need to relax. And then you get back to your peak performance. So this is the thing I advise to just really take notice of what happens into your body, what you're feeling. If you feel this adrenaline, then that's good. But take into account that your body needs to calm down, because we are biological creatures and we were used to situations where we suddenly see a lion, we have to run, we have to fight, we run for half an hour, then we sit down and we'll be like, there's an apple tree, I will eat an apple, and you forget the lion. But now you cannot forget your boss once you get home. So actually you have to do an effort to forget your boss, and I highly advise this. And if you do this, you take into account, where am I? Am I at my peak performance? Am I past it? Am I like way in front of it? By thinking of this, you can make sure that you keep within the safe zone and the safe levels. This, I think, is my greatest recommendation.
Yeah. No, and you know what you're saying is very important. And I've been telling my clients that we believe stress is here, and of course it's there, but it goes to the body, and we think, no, I'm not stressed anymore because I don't see the lion, so my mind is, but we forget that we need to help our body finish the cycle. If the cycle is not complete, then it's when we start getting sick, or eventually stress becomes chronic, and then we get a burnout. So the most important thing is to, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but to make sure that stress is our ally, is to make sure our bodies are completely relaxed and it completes, sorry, the cycle of stress. So we feel it, that we're not tense anymore, we're not like, but we actually know, and as you and I know, there are many techniques. There's not only exercise as a tool, but there are others that also help the body relax. And it's not the mind, it's right.
Yes, of course. Yes, I'm glad you're saying that, because few people take into account the body when they think of stress and think of burnout. Yeah, they say it's you're tired or you're tense. You just go to the doctor or just go to the kinesiotherapist. And of course, these things can help. But you have to start to notice this and actively do something to change it. And that can be whatever you want. It can be relaxation techniques. It can also be some sport. It can be yoga. It can be whatever you like, as long as you make sure that at the end of the day, and I think this is when you notice it best, you go lie down, you do nothing, you try to fall asleep. And at that point, generally your mind and your body will tell you, I'm not comfortable, I'm still thinking about this or that. And during the day you can fool yourself, but when you try to fall asleep, then you get the current state of things. So yeah, of course, we need to be very mindful of that.
Yeah. We have a comment from Shaseb. Shaseb, hi. We're very happy to have you here. And he says that his eating habits gets worsened when he's under stress. What can you tell us about that? Because it's a very, very important thing that he's mentioning, and I think this will help all the audience.
Yes, this is one that I get often with my clients as well. There's some people that are like, what do I have to do to lose weight? And they especially eat when they're stressed. And mostly you will want to have fat food, sugary food when you're stressed. And this is actually, it's more subtle than just stress. It's stress and lack of quality of sleep that results from stress. And I have to stress this because I just read a book about why we sleep from Matthew Walker, and he's like making a huge point of this, that a lot of the weight gain is actually strongly traceable to your quality of sleep. And your quality of sleep, of course, depends on the state of your mind and body before you fall asleep. So my advice would be to relax before you go to sleep. And this sounds weird. It's like, oh, but it's my eating habits. But if you relax, and I've seen this with many clients, then your eating habit starts to change automatically. You won't crave as much sugar. You won't crave as many fats. Of course, I mean, it's also good to just make sure that the fruit is more visible than the cookies and that kind of little tricks.
Mhm.
And you can do many things, but there's a lot of information in that regard. But I have seen that it's not even necessary to do that if you take into account, oh, what does my body feel? Do I feel tense? And then before you really get over that limit, you can compensate and relax and calm down. And then you will, of course, still want to eat. You will still love all the things you love. You will love ice cream if that's your thing, or chocolate if that's your thing, or pizza.
Mhm.
But it will be for the taste and not because you get this rush of
Cravings.
need of these cravings for sugar.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which actually also makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Sorry.
another
Yes.
thing I've read about that is that you kind of like in your mind, you connect the feeling of, because normally you eat, junk food or sugary things, like something that you kind of like connect in your brain that in that moment of stress, you need something that makes you feel happy, and you connect that food with happiness. So I think it's another thing that we need to work out to disconnect that, because it also happens with alcohol, it also happens with drugs,
Yes.
it also happens with cigarettes, that when you feel stressed you start smoking, but it's the anxiety. It's not because you, in your mind, it helps you feel better, but it's just, temporary. It's not for the long run. It just as well gets you in a vicious cycle, right? So
I totally
thank you.
agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Maria Pantoja, she gave a very good tip. And hi, Maria, thank you for watching. And what she recommends is that she wrote it in Spanish, but I'm translating it, that every day we must do, and must in capitals, something every day that makes us happy. If we do one thing, then our whole day and our stress changes. So I think that's a very good tip that we can all implement right away after this Facebook Live, right?
Yes.
Mm.
I can only agree with that. Yes.
Oh, and hi, David. Thank you for watching. David is saying that from his experience, the best way to release stress is by actually acknowledging it, feeling the emotions related, and through your body, all the emotions, feeling it through your body. And yeah, as he says, our body has such an immense wisdom that most of us don't use it, and we're never really taught how to do it. And that's why we, the way we feel and how we move on and everything. So he comments that feeling is the best path to healing, and actually we're analphabets of the emotions, so it's something that we all need to learn.
Another nice one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So thanks, David, for sharing. That's amazing. And yeah, we all need to work on our emotions, acknowledging them, and letting them be felt in the body. So thank you for that.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
That's funny because
uh, yes, please
I
share.
was going to say that's exactly what my mother told me also as one of the advices, to if you feel stressed, to just say, oh, my body is tensing up and it's preparing to do more interesting things, and I can use this in the right way. So when you notice it, you can use it. If you don't notice it, or you see this as an enemy, you say, I don't want to feel this, of course, this will not help you.
Excellent. We have another comment from Maria. I'm translating it. She put it in Spanish. It's very important to make some time to do something we love. It's good for our body and our mind, but without feeling guilty of doing this, because many people don't look after themselves because they think they don't deserve it. I think that's a very important comment. With time, it changes. We change. I mean, people change, and we acknowledge and we know that we need to go first. If we are good ourselves, then we can be good with the rest of the people, with our partners, with our children, with our parents, with everybody that we love that is around us, with our colleagues at work. So this is very important, and yeah, we need to make time and without feeling guilty, because we go first. So thank you, Maria, for sharing that. Hi, Luciana.
I think this one's
that one's very important too, right? Well,
yes, especially for parents, I would say.
Yeah.
They often forget this, that parents go first. And this sounds odd, but yes, if you don't take care of yourself, how can you take care of the children and give them the right example?
Exactly. No, and remember, the children learn by an example. So if we are stressed out all the time, the children are stressed out all the time. But yeah.
Yes.
So, dear audience, I'm so happy of the interaction, the questions, the comments. It's been amazing. Unfortunately, our time's up. I mean, we're past the time. We were supposed to be 20 minutes. We're almost half hour, but I think it's been very, very interesting. All the comments, the questions, all this knowledge and amazing things have been shared with us today. So I hope that we can, sorry, I had this twitch there. We will continue doing these Facebook Lives. So are there some final words that you want to share with the audience, Sabine, before we finish the Facebook Live?
I think you asked some very interesting questions, and I really liked also the comments made by the audience. So it was a nice experience to finish my working day. So I hope everyone follows their own advice. And thank you.
Okay, thank everybody. I'm Ana Stephanie Munoz. We help our customers to discover, unleash, and exceed their potential through workshops, coaching, and discovering who you really are and what you want in life. So thank you, Sabine. Thank you all, and have an amazing weekend. Bye-bye.